Hey folks, welcome to the Smackdown review from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Well, we usually gripe on the WWE not giving us enough of something, either enough storylines, enough matches, enough interest. They gave me some stuff here. Was it great? No. Was it good? Yeah. We got 7 matches. The show opens with 2 matches back to back, which was a surprise. I haven't seen something like this in quite a while. Seeing Kane against Seth Rollins. The entire match was not bad, but both matches were only highlighting Daniel Bryan. That's the way I see it. Daniel Bryan helped Kane to win his match, and even though the second match, which Daniel Bryan lost, he was still highlighted more than Roman Reigns. I felt like the Shield was thrown under the bus for this, which under this situation isn't 100% bad. They have not jobbed. So seeing this was kind of refreshing. It doesn't 100% destroy the Shield in individual, at least not yet. This is what I'm getting. But still, the match was good. Daniel Bryan acting all pissed off after the match is over, and even when they showed the instant replay from Kane's perspective, he getting shoved in the face and then whacking Roman Reigns in the face. I'm sure there's a few people that are still saying, you see, they're still teasing the breakup. You're still seeing the tease of them going to fight one another. But I have this feeling that Daniel Bryan is not going to have a breakup of a fight between him and Kane. I think they're trying to build Daniel Bryan up, and you can tell me below what you think. But I see Daniel Bryan being split off from Kane without a fight. That's the way I'm seeing it. Of course, they're going to still show teases of them showing conflicts where they could break up. But the way they're showing Daniel Bryan now with this increased aggression makes me really feel that they're trying to use Kane as like an added extra for him, to give the crowd more interest in Daniel Bryan, showing that, look, even Kane, the monster who will destroy anybody, believes in him. Kind of like a mentor, even though that doesn't sound right for Kane. That's what it sounds like. Kind of like saying Kane had a kid and that's Daniel Bryan. That's scary, but that's how it kind of feels, which is alright. Now, the thing next was the Damien Sandow show, and I'm saying this right now. Even though it was very short and Damien was not put over here, the concept of Damien Sandow's show is a lot more entertaining than The Miz's show. I'm sorry, I love The Miz. I do love The Miz. I still believe Miz is one of the most underutilized talents they have. That's someone that came from reality television who bust his ass to get into the business and show that he does have the potential to do great work at the mainstream of wrestling. That makes me happy to see. But the way they packaged The Miz, particularly with Miz TV, didn't work because they just didn't do a good job with him. They showed it too much. They didn't give him proper material. And the first time I think they screwed up with Miz TV is when he had to go up against Larry King Now. Larry King Now television shouldn't have The Miz on it. It should be Miz TV having Larry King on it. They didn't do that. That's where I believe they destroyed Miz TV. But seeing Damien Sandow, it was refreshing. I enjoyed his attitude in his show. I believe that he has the potential to be the next highlight reel. I do. The highlight reel with Chris Jericho in the mid to late 2000s was hot. We loved it. Seeing this is like a hint of it just being the same thing. And seeing the Thumber Ring, or as we call it, the Shell Game, was not very good. Really. It's not the point that Damien didn't present it well. It was the fact that Sheamus is the one who wins over this. If you're trying to promote a feud with Sheamus and Damien Sandow, You cannot let Damien job constantly, and they have been. And this is why I have practically no interest in a Damien and Sheamus feud. I'm sorry. You tell me if you have the interest for it, and I'm sure there is an interest for people out there, and I want you to have that interest. But for me personally, if Damien continues the job, instead of getting something over on someone, if he's having a feud, I have no interest in it, no matter how entertaining the show he's producing is. I'm sorry. It was alright for the shell game, but then saying he's going to get a bro kick and then give it to him after you throw a cup at his face totally turns me off. For me personally, I wasn't interested in this type of feud. I'm not. If Damien's jobbing, it makes no difference. None. So the next match was Cara and Curtis Axel. Not bad. Not the match. The match was a basic job match. I had no interest in Sin Cara because I haven't seen him on Smackdown, and I barely seen him on Smackdown, and I haven't seen him at all on Raw. He's basically gone to all the other shows. Bored with him. He's a great talent, but next to tearing his patella tendon, not doing very well when he had the opportunity, no interest at all. I'm sorry. He's no Rey Mysterio. He just doesn't have it. And he's not matched with Rey. Maybe you'll see it on Superstars. Maybe you'll see it on Saturday Morning Slam. Maybe you'll see it on Maybe you'll see it on NXT. But on the main shows, I see nothing. So the promo segment before the ring wrestling began was not bad. I really believe Curtis Axel needs work with this new gimmick. He just doesn't sound right yet. The music now it's been left exactly the way it is, and it sounds good for him. He's using the perfect plex, which is the right thing for him to use right now. But his promo segments still sound very green. Of course, this is a new gimmick for him, so I expect him to be green. With time, he will improve. As I've said already numerous times, I really believe this gimmick is a little late in the game for him. He should have had it done at least last year or the year before. That would have been better for him. I really believe he deserved to have this gimmick 2 years ago. But I guess they didn't believe he was good enough, which was probably a bad move, because if he had done this 2 years ago, we would have more in the game than we have now. So I'm moving on to ADR versus Biggie Langston. I barely look at this match. Now it's 3 matches. Biggie wins 2-1. What does this mean? Nothing. This, for Biggie, nothing. For Dolph Ziggler, it gives him more time to recover from his concussion. There's a good possibility it take him a lot longer than anyone expected. If he had a nasty concussion, it could take months. And they have no choice but to put ADR versus Biggie until he recovers. But this is the first time I've seen someone have the title for so long and not be stripped of it. They need to strip Dolph of the title. He's not getting anywhere. And look, as much as people want to see Dolph do well, and I wouldn't mind seeing Dolph do well. I want to see him turn face and see if he can do it. But the problem here is this. He wasn't presented very well at all. He'd been constantly jobbing, even though he does great matches. He's been in the title scene now twice. This is the second time that he's won the World Championship. And the first one was extremely short and nothing happened out of it. The second one, due to this concussion, makes it just as bad. He needs to be stripped of it. Let him have time to recover. And then let him rise from it. Let him turn face due to the fact of this concussion. This would actually be a good time for WWE to turn him face. Force him to come back, and since Teddy Long is in charge for the moment because Booker T is out because of surgery, let him be pulled back. Let him be stripped of the title. This will do 2 things. 1, it'll help Dolph, saying this is not fair, this is not fair, I deserve better, but you know what? I'm going to rise above this. And Biggie Langston becomes a pain in the ass because of it. AJ becomes a pain in the ass. But this gives the chance for a Dolph Ziggler to turn face that way. He says, I'm more than this. I can rise from it. And Biggie and AJ says, are you kidding me? Don't let them strip it. And this is a perfect way to turn him face. 2, this is also good for Teddy Long. So when Booker T comes back, the conflict that will happen between the 2 of them will actually work, because him not consulting Booker T about stripping the title from Dolph will actually promote their feud when he comes back. This is what I'm hoping they'll do. Strip Dolph of the title. Then, after you strip him, if Booker T is capable of coming back, then you'll have a conflict more between him and Teddy Long because Teddy decides to strip Dolph of the title. Then you can try and turn Dolph face and then let him go up against Biggie Langston. Let him go up against Biggie Langston and then let him rise through the ranks and reclaim the title as a face. This is a perfect opportunity. This is what I believe. So I'm going to move on from there. The next match, and this is a very heavy match show, Jericho versus Cody Rhodes. Now, the opening interview wasn't bad. I don't agree with this, that one, Jericho should be going up against CM Punk again because we've seen it a whole bunch of times. Two, it's better that he comes back at Money in the Bank. It gives him more time to recover, and it gives more time to the people. It's barely been 2.5 months. I would have liked it near 4 months. Give Punk some time, give people some time, and it'll bring it back more interesting. This is a rush job. I'm sorry, that's how I feel about it. Cody and... I feel sorry for Cody because he just jobbed here. There was no interest. I have no interest in Jericho and Punk, and I had no interest in Jericho and Cody. And I like both of them, but there was nothing there. Finally, Orton versus Dean Ambrose. It was a good match. And at the end, you didn't get an actual win, even though... how can I say this? Since they're promoting Daniel Bryan, I thought Daniel might end the show, and he did. With Orton getting a DQ win, was understandable. He gets beat down by the Shield. But seeing Daniel Bryan run out and take out the entire Shield on his own, he's not the caliber of Kane. He's not the caliber of a Randy Orton. He's not the caliber of an Undertaker. Of course not. But he's still the caliber of someone who's, how can I say it? He can gain the caliber of someone who could be like a Jericho. He could. An early form Jericho. He's not even close to where Jericho was in the 2000s. No. But he could rise to the point of where Jericho was in WCW near the end, where he was really getting interest and then went over to WWE. The very opening he did when he went up against The Rock doesn't mean he'll even have that caliber of strength. But he could at least get that type of caliber of presence, early presence of a Jericho. That's how I feel about it. So how I rate the show? I'll give it a B-. It wasn't a great show, but it was very heavy matches, which was very good. The crowd loved Daniel Bryan at the end. It was huge in Canada, which really gave me an interest. And that's how I feel the show was ended. By Daniel Bryan. It was all around Daniel Bryan. So, and I forgot about Kofi and Ryback. Reason I forgot about it, I wasn't interested. Ryback putting Kofi through 3 tables. Maybe Kofi will be gone for a while so we get some interest in him again. Ryback having to do that, and he looked tanked. I didn't really have that much interest. Not for Payback. But I'm still giving this a B-, even with that. I mean, Ryback used to be really good. I just don't see it now. So I hope you enjoyed the Zane View. Subscribe and comment to my channel, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry this is late, but like I said on my last video, I had some things to do and help somebody. So I hope you enjoy this, and I hope you'll be ready to see my Slammiversary review.